Ladies and gentlemen, those of us who began our labors at the operator's key 50 years ago have been permitted to see and assist in the whole modern industrial development of electricity. Thence the remarkable experiments of Morse in 1844 and the unsuccessful efforts of Field in 1858, there have come with incredible rapidity one electrical art after another, so that in practically every respect civilization has been revolutionized. It is still too early to stand outside these events and pronounce final judgment on their lasting value, but we may surely entertain the belief that the last half of the 19th century was as distinct in its electrical inventions and the result as the first half was in relation to steam. The lesson of the Jubilee of the Atlantic Cable of 1858 is one of encouragement to all who would add to the resources of our race and extend our control over the forces of nature. Never was failure more complete, never was higher courage shown, never was triumph more brilliant than that which spent 1866 has kept the old world moored alongside the new by pulsating cables of steel and copper, the family ties of the civilized world. When I look around at the resources of the electrical field today, as shown in this exhibition, I feel that I would be glad to begin again my work as an electrician and inventor, and we veterans can only urge upon our successors, the younger followers of Franklin and of Kelvin, to realize the measure of their opportunities and to rise to the heights of their responsibilities in this day of electricity. Hey, Watermelon, did you ever hear this story of this California story? About 25 years ago, a man from Boston who was a furniture dealer had a very bad case of liver complaint. So he went to California and rigged out a team and started down the San Joaquin Valley with the idea of testing all the mineral springs that were in that valley so that it might relieve him of the terrible pains he had from his liver complaint. Well, he traveled down the valley for the whole summer and he had no relief. But toward the end of the valley, he came to a spring and it immediately relieved him of his pain. Well, he was a very wealthy man, so he started a sanitarium and sent the circus all over the world, and by and by there were people came from all parts of the world and stayed at the sanitarium, and their liver complaint was cured and they were relieved of their pain. Well, about 20 years afterward, the man died. And at the coroner's inquest, they had to take his liver out, kill it with a club.
Thomas A. Edison, the inventor of the phonograph, has never before permitted his voice to be recorded for the public. Today, however, he has a message for you that is important enough to cause him to break his long-established rule. Mr. Edison will now give you that message. I beg to introduce Mr. Thomas A. Edison.
This is Edison speaking. Our boys made good in France. The word American has a new meaning in Europe. Our soldiers have made it mean courage, generosity, self-restraint, and modesty. We are proud of the North Americans who risked their lives for the liberty of the world. But we must not forget, and we must not permit demagogues to belittle the part played by our gallant ally. Their casualty may tell the story. However proud we may be of our own achievement, let us remember always that the war could not have been won if the Belgians, the British, the French, and the Italians had not fought like bulldogs in the face of overwhelming odds. The Great War will live vividly in the minds of Americans for the next 100 years. I hope that when we do reverence to the memory of our brave boys who fell in France, We shall not forget their brothers in arms who wore the uniform of our allies. I believe that the national airs of France, Great Britain, Italy, and Belgium should for all time to come be as familiar to us as our own Star-Spangled Banner.